Hello, guys, and welcome to Game 7. There's confusion about whether it's 7 or 8, but this is definitely the official Game 7 between Pulse and Light. Spawning here in the lower left corner of the map, it is Team Pulse's last chance to shut Binsky down. It is the light blue Protoss, Frosticles.
Spawning in the top left-hand corner of the massive map Whirlwind, going for his second kill, going to try and end this series. It is Light's Binsky, the Red Terran.
This is a best of 9, guys, so if Binsky can pull this off, he'll have that 5-win victory, and his team will take it all over top of Team Pulse. Both these teams are undefeated at this point, so this is going to be the real start of, I guess, everything, as one of them will be forced to lose.
Yeah, and if they're undefeated going into, what, week 5 or something?
It puts them at a significant advantage, especially because all the points are going to be tallied up. For those who don't know, we're getting closer and closer to the finals and the semifinals of this Pro League.
Yeah, and if you're 5-0, then you got a good chance of winning the group. If you win your group, you're seeded directly into top 8. If you get second place, then there's a chance you might get the direct seed, but otherwise you'll have to battle it out and win an entire extra best of 9 before you make it into the top 8.
Yeah, it comes down to points, etc. Meanwhile, Binsky going for what I'm assuming is going to be an
CC
earlier
first.
opening, as we have him skipping the barracks right now. So probably 14 CC, while Frosticles down here has gone Gateway first. Now, the really cool thing about Whirlwind... Sorry, continue?
I was just saying, I think I just remember casting Frosticles from somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, the cool thing about Whirlwind, I just want to point this out, is this third base location does change depending on where players spawn. As all these bases have that giant two-mouth opening, very difficult to hold and defend. However, Binsky, being Terran, you can wall that off, sure, but, I mean, Protoss army is just so strong, you don't need Banelings when your Zealots will bust through everything.
Pretty much. And this probe does identify that it is indeed a command center first. He sees the timing of both the barracks and the command center, sees that there's no gases. So this probe is pretty pleased with himself, and I do not believe Binsky has scouted at all. No, he's just going for the extra economy. Right now he is scouting with his first SCV. How will he follow it up, though? That's the question.
It's pretty critical finding map locations, but ooh, 2 racks coming down from Binsky.
He sees it. Frosticles sees the barracks. And we see a Nexus in response off of the one gateway, going for the Cybernetics core, very standard opening. A lot less economical. Only 2 probes in the gas, so he's going for the little bit extra minerals. I can see why he's doing that. He wants to have enough so he can get like a Stalker, a Sentry, and Warp Gate research started immediately when that Cybercore finishes. But he wants to get extra money just so he can try and keep up with the economical opening from Binsky.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating how to react when you see your opponent has gone CC first. You're kind of forced to also take your expansion because you don't want to fall behind, not this early. However, for Binsky, with this 2 racks, he can do some early pressure damage. It's not easy to hold off 2 racks as Protoss, and like I said earlier, regardless of what race you're against, 2 racks with good micro can do a lot of damage.
Indeed, it can.
Binsky, all over the map right now with these SCVs, trying to figure out where his opponent is.
Yeah, he is. I don't believe he's scouted that. No, he has not scouted the one position where his opponent is at. Am I seeing things, or did I...
I'm curious why his SCV went up to the top right again a second time.
I was just about to point that out. Like that's, I was like,
are we gonna see a ninja third? We're gonna see a ninja third out of Binsky.
Oh, wow, Binsky.
Took me a moment to figure that out, but I mean, there's no reason for Frosticles to check up there. There's no pylon placements that go anywhere near there. And that's a nice place to sneak into third, not something you often see a lot of people do. And 2 racks with 3 CC opening, this is very greedy for a Terran player.
It is, but this is one of those sexy type of greedy plays where if Frosticles doesn't scout it, and as you said, he probably won't, then he won't really realize it until he's like, how does my opponent have so many units? He shouldn't have this many units off of 2 base. It can like make him miscalculate his attacks, his builds, everything.
And this he does get a scout off. He sees 2 more gateways on the way, so there's 3 gates, the Cybercore, everything. But with bunkers here at the top of the ramp, I don't think he's really in any trouble anytime soon.
Oh no, he's not, and he could even go one step further with his greed and be like, yeah, I'm going to take my 3rd base at the standard time, at the standard place, to really throw Frosticles off.
But if he does that, then he'll really be at a disadvantage.
He will.
3 racks, double engineering bay.
That's a risky take. I mean, what I'm saying, like, he could do that, and it could trick his opponent, but it could just get him killed, so... But he's in a position to take the risk. His team is up 4 games to 2, so...
Yeah, we have a lot of Stalkers funneling across the field right now. there's really nothing they can do. I mean, one bunker is fine, two's even better.
He could go for a run by, but 3 is not enough to do a run by with. He sees it and takes a little bit of hull damage on 1, backs off.
Yeah, I mean, even if he did manage to run by those bunkers through some miracle, the Marines can, of course, just be unloaded and end of an issue. And this top right base is becoming an orbital. The only catch to this is there's not going to be an SCV rally. He will give his base away if he does that. But, I mean, it's just going to sit here and do so much free mining for so long.
Yeah, he can keep dropping his mules there. The one thing is that if he drops all of his mules there, which doesn't look like he is, and an observer comes in and sees, hey, there's no mules, then he'll actually figure it out if he's really, really astute.
One thing I like about this too, Bingsky, all these games, has been putting in a forward missile turret to scout for those observers. No free information on the army composition.
And DTs, because, you know, if you just try and do a DT run by, then, like without a warp prism, then the missile turret shuts that down immediately.
And we do have 2 tech labs and a reactor on the way, so more Marauders will be on the field shortly. We do have Stim under the way. Looking back at the Protoss base, though, can't neglect him too much. He does have 4 gas mining right now. Double Forge, trying to get that early upgrade advantage. And, oh, actually, a Robo-Bay already on the way.
Yeah, he's going for those quick Colossi, or Coloxin, as Day 9 dubbed them back in the beta.
Coloxin?
That was apparently Day 9's official plural for Colossi. Thank God it didn't stick.
For real. Alright, we do have a probe out here putting forward pylons up for proxy locations. An observer is scouting around, and there's nothing to detect this. So you will get a full scout off, see a lot of bio play underway, not have to worry about Banshees or anything ridiculous coming out of the Terran player.
Yep, and we do see a starport coming, so hopefully these Colossi will not catch him completely off guard.
And I am still squealy and girly about the fact that this top right base is just getting away with everything. 2 more gas coming down with this. At some point, Frosticles is going to have to realize there's no way 2 base has the economy to support the type of army that Bingsky will be pumping out.
Precisely, and the armory's finishing up a little bit too slow, but that's not too big of a deal. He's dropping all of his mules there, though, so if that observer looked and saw these command centers have low energy and there's no mules, what's going on? But that's a very subtle thing.
Yep, Frosticle's going for his own 3rd now. Gotta be thinking, oh, I'm up ahead on this Terran player, not realizing how sneaky he is.
You gotta be sneaky snake to win the game. Sometimes a ninja expand can just straight up give you a free win, and that's a really good risk to take when you're up, 4 games to 2.
Yeah, if Bingsky gets knocked out here, let's not forget, wow, Scarlet was watching this game, that's cool.
She was unimpressed with the game because she just left.
This top right base is going to scout it for too long. I'm out of here, guys.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, Binsky, even if he loses at this point, Team Light still has several chances to come back into this. And, oh, actually scanning the Colossus. A really nice tell. A lot of stalkers there.
Yeah, his whole army was in one spot, so yeah, he's got the perfect size up on the army, so he knows exactly what's going on, and he can prepare accordingly. He'll probably start a cycle of Vikings after these medevacs. There's +1 air attack.
Yeah, factory positioning to do some nice scouting, get that high ground vision. And oh, will Bingsky pick off this observer that's right above his army? Yes, he does!
Loading into dropships, too. Maybe he'll do multi-pronged harassment here, or he's... his army's...
Trying to take that watchtower, but the probe
going.
should escape before... Oh, unfortunately, Bingsky does see the probe.
Yeah, I guess he's just going home. He's wisely going home. Actually, no. Looks like he might just be doing a huge drop here. 3 full medevacs floating over his army. 4 full medevacs.
Coming up on 12:27 right now. We don't have a lot of Vikings on the field. Some are in production, though, and he needs these to deal with that Colossus early. There are a lot of sentries that will zone out the army, and the last thing you want to do is get caught behind force fields and die to lasers.
Look what he's doing. He's actually going for Templar, so he's making the 1 Colossus fake out. So he's building 1 Colossus, being like, yo, build 50 Vikings, please. By the way, I have Psystorm.
Oh, but look at this. The Marauders are catching that army. Force fields are being dropped, and this drop will go unattended for the time being.
He should stop making Vikings, because he only sees 1 Colossus. He should identify that he's trying to get faked out.
Oh, and look at this transition up over into the main. This is really nice on Binsky's part.
Yeah, he could snipe some key tech structures here.
Like that cybernetics core. Probe's already being evacuated. Very smart choice. You don't want to lose a single one of these. But there's actually no focus fire going down right now.
He's doing a little bit of it now. Actually, no, he's kind of like attack move, stutter stepping, and he could be a lot more effective with this if he decided to...
The army's just so far out, though. Oh, gonna focus down the Nexus.
He's not going to get the Nexus now. That
He
could have
might.
been
Oh,
so much better.
so
that could have
close.
Been so much better.
If he had just dedicated to it, I think it would have been worth losing those units.
Yep.
But oh no, actually just gonna come over here and drop. Gotta be careful.
Oh, beautiful feedback.
Destroying that medevac. Meanwhile, we do have Binsky taking his quote-unquote third. He. We all know how the real story is, as this is his fourth. And a Ghost Academy on the way.
Frosticles knows it's there. He sees a mule mining, so he knows what's up. Maybe he's still thinking, this is his third base, whatever. Little does he know that there's that ninja base.
Oh, medevac gonna try and get in here. Immediately deterred by those stalkers. And gonna freely drop over. That Marine is so low coming out of the dropship. Oh no, with this Archon.
Shut it down.
Yeah, so much splash damage.
And he doesn't get away. That Archon tags that medevac out of the air. More Vikings are on the way, and there's only one Colossus still.
Interesting, putting a sensor tower down at this location. I mean, this will give him a lot of pre-warning on what's coming, but...
It won't stop Warp Prisms from sneaking in his back pocket there, though, on the left-hand side of the map.
Exactly, I mean, this base is really open right now. I do like Binsky's choice to finally get Ghost, though a lot of Terran players will, of course, try to brute force down their opponent, but, I mean, with that many Templar on the field, you have to have EMPs. There's no way to deal with it. Between Snipes or EMPs, you just have to shut those the High Templar down.
Yeah, his choice here is vindicated by seeing 4 Templar just sort of breeze past that scan as it was still in the air, so he knows that Ghosts are a worthy investment right now.
Oh, and there's a very sneaky pylon up here in the north location. Some hit and runs may happen later on, but right now, Frosticle's just kind of keeping to his main army, not splitting off, not doing too much crazy stuff.
Yeah, that Observer knows about the really ridiculous Terran Concave. Is Frosticles really going to push into this?
Oh wow, and Binsky has so many Vikings that are just utterly useless right now. They'll snipe off this Colossus, sure, but...
There's that Colossus fake out I talked about earlier. Look at that Viking count.
Working very effectively against Binsky. That was a lot of minerals baited and wasted. Of course, he can land these, but Viking ground damage is not that great.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more missile to finish off that Colossus. This seems to be the story of Binsky this game. Always just barely not killing what he's intending to kill.
Poor guy.
And we do have Warpin started up here in the top location. There are 4 Templar out here.
He knows that the third base is just too much of a fortified position, so he's like, you know what, I'm just going to attack somewhere else.
Oh, and I love the positioning on these supply depots. That will, of course, kind of mix up the melee, but...
Ghost beautiful force fields.
Force fields catching half that Terran army out of position, but Ghosts are there now. No EMPs or snipes to be heard.
Just some.
Just feedbacks going off. The Archons are the crucial units you need to EMP, but unfortunately not quite being able to land it.
He wanted to get rid of that AoE. Just as, okay, the Colossus does fall now.
And you're getting a bit ahead of me again, Garyo, because coming up at 18 minutes. Vikings are landing, trying to do what they can, but there's a lot of Zealots pushing up here. He needs the aid of his planetary fortress right now, and he's fighting just barely out of range of it.
The SimCity kind of prevents him from doing that. He lowers the depots saying, come at me, bro, and he's got enough repair, I think.
Yeah, the SPGs can't repair this all day, but he does do a lot of damage to that Terran army. Those force fields were beautiful.
And if you look here, he kind of neglected his +3 armor, so while he was tied with the Protoss in upgrades, he's going to be 1 full armor upgrade behind.
Really unfortunate, but I don't think he can spare the gas for it right now, as we do see a lot of Ghost production going on. Continued Vikings, interestingly enough.
It's weird to see a Terran player playing Bio and having not enough gas at the 19-minute mark. That's such a rare occurrence.
And Binsky taking his... Sorry, not Binsky. Frosticle's taking his 4th behind this, not realizing he's now tied up with Binsky. And oh no, some more force fields on the main ramp here. Army's just a little out of position, and these Ghosts still gotta get close enough for that EMP.
Those two... This is the deadly dance of TVP, where the Ghosts are trying to get in and get good EMPs and not get tagged by those Templar feedbacks or psionic storms.
Yeah, with no frontal observer, Cloak would just be critical right now, but unfortunately I don't think Binsky has that researched. Yeah, selecting a Ghost, no Cloak whatsoever. This one lone Marine will scout the 4th down here.
Colossi have also been started for realsies now, as we have double Robo all the way. It's so intense. With the with the extended thermal lance.
Oh, Garyo, you're so silly. And man, we've got so many gateways. Look at this third base. So many more being warped in. Frosticle's just looking to dump his economy, attack after attack. If he builds up a bank, he's going to be in a really nice position to just slam at Binsky.
Yeah, I'd like to see Binsky actually gear up for a quote-unquote 4th base, which is really his 5th.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't actually expand out towards the natural over here.
Yeah, the natural of the ninja main
The
base.
ninja natural, if you will.
He could just eventually float that command center down to the natural, and then eventually Frosticle scouts. He's like, "Aw, crap!
Son of a gun.
You got me."
Well, Archons are posturing around in front. Very dangerous. If these ghosts can get some EMPs off, those Archons will die so quickly.
Yeah, that's a lot of High Templar there, though. Actually, it's only
Oh.
like 5, but they have almost full energy.
I would
They
love
have
to
enough for
see
2
some
storms.
cloak underway, but it's just not happening.
He
As
doesn't
it
have
feels-
cloak researched yet. He just started it.
Yeah, Binsky really needs that cloak to get close enough to those High Templars, especially because there's no observer floating with his army.
He forgot +3 armor completely. He has the money for it now. There's no excuse not to have it, and he hasn't even started it. Oops.
Oh, will he scout this observer? No, he won't. So EMP is going down left and right.
That is a
Catching-
lot of EMPs.
And these ghosts are going to die with a lot of energy on them, unfortunately. Feedback's going off like crazy as the Stalkers move forward, but it's not enough, and these Vikings will take out the Colossus. And look at the
That's a
Terran
lot of
army
Marauders
just
left over.
begin to move down the track. Marauders and Marines just too good.
Indeed, and supplies actually even at this stage. Looking at units lost. Ooh, wow. Binsky's lost so many resources. If it weren't for this base, this ninja base, he would have lost the game by now.
Luckily, though, I mean, Binsky has leveled the playing field, and it's so much easier to take a 133 size Protoss army than, say, a 180 size Protoss army.
Exactly. He does have 11 billion gateways, but he's actually out of gas right now.
11 billion, is that an accurate number?
Yes, it is. Look at the amount of gateways at his third base alone.
So Binsky is going to poke around here, and I'm still surprised he's not taking a fifth behind this. But trying to come down here, he will try and eliminate Frosticle's fourth, as this is the major reliance of income for him right now.
Yeah, he's going to get it too. He gets it and just darts out of there. Thank you very much. See you later.
Yeah, the Nexus does fall, and he should actually get out of here alive. These Medivacs can just pick up and run if need to.
Yep, he just doesn't want to draw the Protoss army into the top right-hand corner of the map, so he's got to really plan his retreat path.
Very tactical, very intelligent. Now again, we've got so many ghosts on the field. We finally have Cloak, though. So if these ghosts can get in Cloak to do a lot of EMPs early on, that will be a quick end to Frosticle's army. Doesn't matter how many Zealots, Archons, etc.
He just has to scan and pick
And
off
forcing
the
a
observer with his
cancel.
Vikings.
Forcing a cancel with that Nexus. Denying this for a long time.
Yeah, really nice moves with this little bio guerrilla attack force right here. Mostly marauders. And there's another command center finally being started. He actually started command center a long time ago, but there was an attack that made him cancel it, and he never got around to rebuilding it.
And Binsky's got a mule drop down here, I think, to repair these Medivacs, maybe. Yeah, so I mean, this guerrilla
use of the mule.
tactics... This guerrilla tactics force in the lower right could win him the game if Frosticles leaves his base unattended. If Frosticles loses his probes, loses this base, he's going to have no ability to reproduce.
Yeah, this like guerrilla tactics here has been so annoying. It's like pretty much like guerrilla munch almost, you know?
It's like, you know, if any of our viewers don't view 4chan, they won't get any of our
They won't.
casts. But oh no, here we go. We're going to have another deny on the third, or sorry, the fourth. However, I don't think Binsky will get out free this time.
He'll cancel.
Colossus Army, you're a little ahead of me again, Gary. Colossus Army is moving up. Picking these up and going to go straight for the main. I love this choice.
That was a worthwhile drop.
Definitely,
So-
definitely. Coming up on 26 minutes exactly as he comes up
No
towards
blink.
the third.
Oh, watch out for those feedbacks.
Oh, and the Templar not paying attention, quickly picking off one of the Medivacs.
2 now.
Yeah, these Marauders are going to be hard-pressed to do some damage, trying to pick up the warping units before they finish warping in. And, oh no, actually, I don't know when or how, but that top right base was discovered. It's being floated away, and the SCVs have been retreated out. So that ninja base is completely done for Binsky.
I guess there was like a zealot on patrol or something.
True enough, and probes floating down here for resources. Long distance mining is all Frosticle is really depending on. He does have a nice bank, though, set up. And engaging a 200 army. Oh no, these SCVs auto mining are going to get picked off.
Luckily, he was able to get some of them away from there.
There's so many ghosts here. I mean, if you can get the EMPs off and then just use the rest of energy on sniping.
There's only one
Frosticle's
observer.
army. Oh, look at the EMP landing on all of the High Templar. Only a couple energy for storms. The rest of the army being EMP'd, and these Vikings taking out that last Colossus. Driving Frosticle's armies back, and Binsky's still maxed. Coming out really ahead on that fight.
Yeah, even though he did lose a planetary, and he actually doesn't really have any mining, and there's the bank for.
But look at this
Rostos.
army, A moving through the field right now.
Yeah.
Ghost doing tons of damage to these Zealots. EMP is going down, and what little there is being crumbled into nothingness.
Yeah, all his warp gates are on cooldown. He has nothing left right now.
Both players on long distance mining as well. Bingsky, I think, misrallied his orbital, tried to land it, but Zealot is right there. But look at this, picking off that long distance mining crew. More Zealots coming up. EMP's going down. There's some Templar in the back, but I don't think it's enough. There's just too many units here.
Look at that EMP.
No storms, no shields, and GG for Frosticles.